Hey guys, Billy here. I'm a multi-gladiator hunter and a shuffle rank 1. This video is a review of my first shuffle in over 2 months, and I'm analysing what I could have done better in the games. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, then please comment, like, and subscribe, and if you didn't, well, pretend you did. Feel free to join my Discord and check out my stream, the links are in the description, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so this is kind of a follow-on from the last video, but it's just going to be explaining why I lost the rounds that I did, and looking back with hindsight. Because obviously no one in this lobby plays perfectly. I made some mistakes as well. So yeah, it's just going to be walking through what I could have done better in order to maybe have won some more rounds. Because in Shuffle, pretty much if you lose a round, there's almost always something you could have done better. Aside from if someone dies in like the first 10 seconds and you've used your defenses and stuff. So here I go in, and my first goal should be looking to get a little bit of damage onto the evoker, who is going to be our main target here. And then I want to get a stun trap onto the paladin. We miss a precog onto the evoker, and now we get a stun onto the paladin. So here, what I could have done is I could have trapped, but because the pallet is so low, I thought that we're going to maybe be able to kill him, because with Frost Mage, we're doing quite a lot of cleave damage, so we're just cleaving on the pallet and the evoker. So here, I should have now trapped. So if I trinketed this and went and trapped instantly, this would be much better. I also DR stunned, which was a waste. If I didn't DR stun here, then I could have kept it and had it for the next one. Because there wasn't that much longer left on the DR anyway. There was like 16 seconds, I guess. So it was a bit of time actually. But yeah, I didn't need to DR stun anyway. I could have just trapped. So now the Hpal is still low, but he's managed to top himself. I used Sack on my Mage. I could have used Sack slightly earlier as well. I kick the Evoker here. And this was a good kick because it's on the sleep, so didn't really want to get it off. This silence here is a bit of a waste. So I could have kept this silence when I have my next trap in 10 seconds, because realistically I don't get anything from this silence. It doesn't stop him casting anything, it doesn't really stop any damage from either of the DPS, and yeah, I could have just channeled it from a trap, which could have forced maybe a trinket. So yeah, that's something that I could definitely do better that game. And again here, I DR stunned just to try and stop him getting the blind onto my shaman. But this DR stun, again, it wasn't worth it. Like, looking back, I should have just waited, because there wasn't that much longer left on the DR. So, yeah, I could have just waited. Like, there was 2 seconds left on the DR. I didn't look at it, and I DR stunned. So yeah, if I'd kept that, that would have been much better. So now I'm on the Pala. Then we DR sheep. This DR sheep as well isn't good, because there's 2 seconds left on the trap DR. So if we just waited the 2 seconds, we would have got a full sheep, or a full trap. And then we would have got his trinkets. So now I tried to put a knock trap down, but it didn't actually work. I don't know why this didn't work, it just didn't. And I'm just standing up here. My position here isn't too bad, but yeah, just doing some damage to the evoker. We give him the precog here, which is really bad because it's the end of his dragon rage, so he's still able to do a lot of damage. Use a scatter on the ret here, and then give the evoker another precog. Why I did this, I don't know. It wasn't like he was casting anything that dangerous. I should have just held my kick. So now we get Renewing Blaze. I could have purged this, but I didn't. So yeah. At this point, I can see, okay, the pallet is on Trap DR, but not Stun DR. So I should be thinking, if we get the Evoker low, I can stun him, and then maybe force something. Again, thanks KB for the follow. But yeah, so I've walled here. This wall's pretty good, because I'm taking a lot of damage. And now my kiting is okay, but it's not too great. I should have kited pretty much over to where I'm pinging. But yeah, so overall this game, looking back, the CC on the Paladin was terrible from both me and the Mage. We DR'd stuns way too much, we DR'd traps way too much, my silences weren't that useful, and I took a little bit too much damage at the end. I should have just turtled high instead. So we did get the Paladin's Trinket here as well. So this is good. So at this point, we're at like a decent position in the game. But now I should be thinking, I'm probably a target. Because my Mage still has some cooldowns. I still have cooldowns as well, but the ret is deciding to hit me. And the Evoker's got the Mass Disintegrate, so it's hitting both of us anyway. So yeah, now, because I know that I'm not going to get a trap for a little bit, because I don't have it for 15 seconds, I should just be running like behind me, so that I'm lining the Evoker. But I'm not. I'm tanking too much damage. And as soon as I see my shaman get hodged here, I either need to press wall or I need to press turtle or Ross. Any one of these things, if I'd pressed early enough, would have saved me. But I get hodged, I press Ross too late, and my pet's in a CC anyway, I believe, so it doesn't actually go off. So yeah, I get hodged here. My shaman in CC, and there's nothing I could have done to live after this hodge has gone off. But I could have just pre-turtled, or I could have pre-roar of sacrificed, or pre-walled, and all of these three things would have saved me. So yeah, that's like what could have done better in this round. So TLDR, CC, basically everything to be honest. But yeah, I could have definitely played this round a lot better. So now we'll go on to the next round, and we're against the who are we against? We're against the Devastation, Ret, and the Restoration. So here I'm with the Mage again. Mage Hunter is not the best comp, to be honest, so this is a harder matchup, but we can definitely win it. We should probably be killing the Ret, just because he's a bit less tanky than the Evoker, and we have decent purges with the Mage and my purge as well. This scatter on the Evoker isn't bad, but it's not the best one I've ever done, but yeah, not too bad. I get slept here and freedom myself. Freedom was a bit useless, I didn't need to do it. I should have trinketed offensively here, looking back. The reason I should have trinketed defensively is my mage is getting attacked by both of them, and I'm just sitting in CC. I'm not really able to do anything. And they're not really going to kill me when they're killing the mage. So yeah, could have easily trinketed defensively. And this game's probably going to be quite a while, so I probably would have got my trinket back anyway. I get knocked on my stun, which isn't great. I could have stood slightly further away and then landed the stun. Here as well, I should have killed the healing tide totem, because they're still quite important to kill. And I should have disengaged out of this route. And instead of disengaging this way, I should have disengaged the other way, so that I'd be able to land a... wait, well, I don't have trap. What did I trap? Did I miss trap, or what did I trap? I think I missed trap, actually. Oh, okay, yeah, so I missed trap. That was not good. So that's why I didn't go that way. But I still should have disengaged that way anyway to get to the shaman, even though I didn't have trap. And because I don't have trap, this silence is kind of useless as well. They are lining, so that's pretty good, but I should have just killed the totems as well. My Ross here isn't too bad on the mage, because the evoker and the rep both have their cooldowns up right now. We get a hodge onto the pala, and my mage is doing a double stun. I should have feigned this slightly earlier, so that I get, like I take less damage. I'll put it on slower speed, so it might be a bit better. And now my position is okay here, but I should be running towards the enemy shaman, because even though I'm not taking damage, I'm not actually doing anything helpful for the team, and I know that we're now on the back foot, so I need to go in and get damage, basically, and CC. So I should be pushing in on the shaman to try and get CC. I can even scatter to get CC as well if I need to. So I decided to push in now, and again, it's a bit too late now because my mage is already in block. He runs into the old trap, which is not the end of the world, actually, because I wanted to do that anyway. And it will mean I'm able to get another trap onto him. I trinket this in order to land the second trap. Not the best trinket I've ever done, but not too bad. I just wanted to get the momentum at this point. And now I'm running away from the Ret a little bit and away from the evoker, because I don't want to stack. If we stack, it's really bad, because then they get like cleave damage. So I know I'm waffling a bit, and I hope this isn't too distracting. So do let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But yeah, so now I see we get a hodge onto the Ret. The shaman has a trinket and the evoker has a trinket. So our only kill target really is going to be the Ret. But they have quite a lot of cooldowns left, so we are very, very behind. My mage doesn't have any blocks left. I have cooldowns, but they're realistically not going to kill me. So now the shaman is in a route there, and I scatter the evoker. This scatter is good. This just stops damage and stops the evoker peeling and healing the Ret. And we get spell warding. This is also very good, and we get rescue. So this play was good. Like keeping the shaman down there rooted by the mage is really nice, because we were able to force quite a lot from the Ret. And now the shaman is casting healing spells. I could have kicked this, but I didn't want to get faked, so I just didn't. This sleep I should have kicked, but again I didn't. Get a silence onto the shaman, and following this I should land a stun trap, which I don't know if I do. Okay, I get a freezing trap, and then I can follow this up with a stun. Probably would have been slightly better to stun first, but it doesn't really matter. This way it means I don't get knocked. So yeah, both ways work completely fine. We get the sack from the Ret, so I could cleave on the evoker as well, but I'm just doing damage to the Ret. We get the grounding. Grounding dies quickly because the mage snipes it. And now we're starting to do damage again. I kicked the disintegrate. The reason for this is I just wanted to stop some damage from the evoker. But what I should have done after this is also kill this healing tide. Because realistically, we're not going to kill in this Hodge, so it would have been better for me to kill the healing tide so we live for an extra go. But we do get the red bubble, so it's not the end of the world. Get the rep, I'm not able to stop this, and now just doing damage to them, or to the evoker. I can't stop the sleep because I don't have kick, but it's on me, so hopefully I could get a dispel. But I think my healer's panicking, or maybe he doesn't have dispel, I'm not sure. We get the fly, and at this point the game is going to be very hard because we're both low, they have cooldowns coming back up. So I'm still in the static totem. I should have just killed this quickly, but I didn't. I can't tell you why. My movement here is terrible. So what I should have done here is I should have disengaged the other way. If I disengaged the other way, I could have stunned the shaman into a full trap, and probably still landed the scatter on the evoker. And then we would have been able to do a counter go, my mage could have left block, and we could have maybe forced something from the wreck. He doesn't have bubble anymore, so he's definitely a kill target. He doesn't have spell warding either. So the mage is the wreck is definitely a kill target here. But instead, I'm just like wandering around a little bit and not really doing much. Static charge is going to go off here, and I get stunned again. I could have killed this, but I didn't. We land a kick onto the shaman, and now I should definitely be following this up with a trap, but I'm not. But if I had followed this up with a trap, then it would have been much, much better. We do manage to get Trinket Link here, and to be honest, I should have just used Turtle, because realistically, we're not getting anything else from this go. And my mate has altar, so he can probably live. My Paladin doesn't have much, but he's not really a kill target at this point. And I should have used my binding shot and a knock onto the ret to knock him away. This sounds like I've played completely awfully. I don't think I did. I think I played okay, but there's always like a lot you could improve on in the games. So here I get a root onto the evoker, and I've turtled so low it's going to be hard for my Paladin to top us anyway. And I think my mage will die here, or maybe I die. But yeah, at this point the game's unrecoverable. There's nothing we can really do. But yeah, this game again, like my movement wasn't amazing. I haven't played in a while, so this was kind of like a byproduct of not playing. But my movement was just bad. I should be on the healer a lot more. My tracking of DRs was okay, but I just delayed trap a lot, sometimes for zero reason. Damage is fine. But yeah, it's just little things like that that all add up and would make the game a lot smoother if we had like if I'd done all of that perfectly, we would have definitely won that game. And here I'm with the Ret, and we're against the Evoker with a Frost Mage with a Resto Shaman. This matchup is, I think it's our favor, but it's still not the easiest matchup. We should probably kill the Evoker because Mage has altar, and realistically, with that like a reliable purge, you're not going to get the altars very often. So Mage is kind of just a god class. Thanks, Tyrell, for the follow as I'm recording this. Appreciate that, buddy. So here I disengage in and I kick, or I should have kicked something here. I kicked the disintegrate really late for some reason. I could have just kicked it a bit earlier, but I just want to get damage out onto the evoker. My position here is good. This is like the ideal position I should be at the start of the game. We've got the grounding, so now I should send a stun onto the shaman, followed up by a trap, which I do, but I think I get knocked on it, but I don't think it matters. Okay, so this is like the perfect opener. The only thing I could have done differently is freedom myself and scatter the mage, but realistically we didn't really need to do that because he's not CCing anyway. So now, just doing some damage, our Paladin gets the evoker kick, so we should be able to cast fairly soon and just start doing damage. Healing Tide here, I've got 3 weak auras for it, and for some reason I didn't actually kill it. Or I did kill it actually, but yeah, okay, I actually killed it this time, or tried to kill it, so this was good. I get Polyed here. I could have trinketed this offensively, and it probably wasn't a bad trinket, to be honest. Because instead I had a 7-second poly. Or 7-second poly into a 4-second hex, into a root. So now I'm just not doing anything. I'm just sat here doing nothing. I should have kicked this disintegrate slightly earlier as well. And now I'm getting disorientated, stunned into the mage, and I think I get knocked as well. Okay, I don't get knocked, but I could have got knocked here as well, and then I'm just out of the game completely. So here, I think trinketing offensively would have been good looking back on it. My scatter here on the mage is good, just so that he can't kill my Holy Paladin, and can't really get too much out onto the ret either. The evoker has Dragon Rage, so any kicks on his Disintegrate or his Eternity Surge or Fire Breath is good. And now my positioning is pretty decent. Like now we get a blind onto the Shaman, this breaks instantly, and now I should throw a binding shot down to stun, followed up by a trap. So I do this, and I land the trap as well. So this game, the CC has gone much, much better. The damage is like a bit worse, I should be slightly higher damage, but I was playing quite defensively and not wanting to trinket offensive. The Evoker has wall up, but he still is able to die in his wall because it's not a huge wall, but you can't kick him when he has his wall up. We get a Hodge here onto the Evoker. This Hodge isn't bad because it doesn't get the spell for quite a while, and this Fire Breath would have been really good to kick. The reason for this is that every time he Fire Breaths, he extends his Dragon Rage by 5 seconds. So if we had kicked, then it would have been much better, because then he wouldn't have had Dragon Rage for quite as long. We get a blind onto the Shaman, and somehow this doesn't break, and we get a totem from him, Mana Tide. These totems, Mana Tide's not that important to kill because this isn't going to be a mana game. And we get the Evoker's second wall as well. I get lassoed here, and again, I still have my trinket. I'm holding my trinket way, way, way too long. Because I set the full stun, and in that stun I'm not doing damage, and I feign randomly at the end. Again, feign wasn't very useful. So right now I should scatter the Mage and follow up with a full trap onto the Shaman, which I do. So this was good. Or okay. I should have trapped slightly sooner so that I didn't have to trinket that really like short dragon stun. But aside from that, this was good. And then I should have kicked the Disintegrate, which I do. And I could have even used Pet Stun on the dragon so that maybe we force the Shaman's trinkets. So now we get grounding. I should have killed grounding instantly. And I should have just... my position here is fine, actually. The silence here isn't too bad because the Evoker is low anyway, and he has to use his Spirit Walkers to get out of it. But the silence would have been better out of a stun so that he can't Spirit Walkers it. Evoker's very low here, and because he's kicked on Disintegrate, he can't actually cast Disintegrate. But at this point, I should use my Pet Stun on the Evoker to stop the Nullifying Shroud. The reason for this is, as soon as he gets Nullifyings, we can't CC him. So that makes it much, much harder to kill him. And I've also got my Binding Shot coming off cooldown, which I could have used on the Shaman. So I should have, looking back, Pet Stunned the Evoker, and then use Binding on the Shaman, because the other way around they could dispel the Binding on the Evoker anyway, and he got the Nullifying off. So this was unfortunate and the wrong decision by me at the time. So now I get the Link, and I should kill the Link. I think I do, yep. And now just doing damage to the Evoker again. My position here isn't too bad. I'm just trying to stay like out of harm's way, basically. The Shaman is there. We get a Hodge onto the Shaman, and I can follow this up with a trap. He trinkets, but I am able to land the trap. And the Evoker is a bit low, but because he got these Nullifyings, we're not able to kill him. Because he's just able to cast. We don't have kicks. And we can't CC him either. Get the Healing Tide, which I am going to kill. And the Evoker's doing damage onto me. So at this point, I could also scatter the Mage, or I could wait till the next go to scatter the Mage so that they can't get any pressure. But yeah, now my position isn't too great. I should be running onto the Shaman. And I scattered the Mage here. This isn't too bad because I wanted to stop the poly on him. They missed the fly on me, which is really, really nice. And at this point, the game is looking pretty good for us, to be honest. Like, I've got my stun into trap coming up soon. The Ret still, or both Paladins still have bubble. And my healer's like gonna be off the R for the go. We get the Paladin bubbles here. And now I should stun trap instantly. There's no reason for me to delay this stun trap. But because I delay it, because my pets are rooted and I've not got them out, then this makes it much harder or much easier for them to predict the go. Here as well, the Hodge is a bit not great because I'm polyed, right? And unless I get it to spell, I'm not going to be able to land this trap. But what I should have done is just re-stunned the guy as soon as I can trap. But instead I stun the Evoker. Again, this isn't entirely my fault. The Paladin shouldn't have used his stun when I'm in a poly. Unless I'm able to get dispelled, or unless they're going to both break. because this made it really hard for me to get this trap, and I think I even missed it in the end. I shouldn't have missed it, but I just rushed it because I was panicking, and then I think I got knocked or something. Or no, I just missed it. Okay. So if I'd hit this trap, we likely could have ended the game here, because they don't have any trinkets. The evoker doesn't really have that many cooldowns left aside from a wall, but I've got Call of the World coming up, and at this point in dampening, we just kill through all cooldowns pretty much. Shuffle rarely goes longer than like your second set of cooldowns. And now Eternity Surge we can't kick because he's got his wall up. And we're just doing damage. Right now, I could have scattered the mage, although it didn't matter too much because he's only hitting me because my ret had bubble up. So yeah, this isn't too bad. And right now, instead of just playing around at the pillar, I should have just run to the enemy shaman. And I should have kicked this disintegrate instantly. I did, but I waited like half a second. If I kicked it instantly, he doesn't get the first or the second tick. And now I just need to play hyper aggressive and run onto the enemy shaman. This is when I should have also scattered the mage just before coming. But yeah, our ret does fall here. This is a bit unfortunate because if we'd lived now, we would have definitely won the next go. But yeah, this was not a bad game by me. But it's just lots of little things I can do better. So a TLDR from what I did wrong in all 3 games was mainly just positioning. Almost all of the issues I had were positioning based. Like if I'd had better positioning, then I wouldn't have needed to use a trinket, or I wouldn't have needed to use a scatter or use XYZ, just because I would have been able to get the trap a lot easier. So yeah, I know I've waffled a bit, but I hope this will help at least one person. And I do VOD reviews, so if you join my Discord and you have like a short clip you want me to watch, I'm happy to watch that. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching. That's all for this video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know of any suggestions you have for any other videos you'd like to see, and I hope you have a great day. Peace out.